Well, Ronbus has surprised us all with their third paddle launch in only the last several months. After the long-awaited Ripple finally got its wide-scale release in the Ripple V2, and the newly released Refoam came out only a few weeks ago, Ronbus is releasing what I truly believe is their best paddle yet. But before we jump into the performance and my thoughts on this paddle, it would mean a lot if you could hit the subscribe button down below, as it greatly helps the growth of my channel. And lastly, Ronbus did provide me with these test units, but no money exchanged hands, and all thoughts are my own. With that housekeeping out of the way, let's jump into some specs. This paddle is offered in 5 shapes. The R1 and the R3 are elongated options. The R2 and the R5 are wide body options. And lastly, the R4 is a hybrid option. This review will mostly be focused around the R3 shape, but I did also playtest the R2 and the R4 extensively. All of these paddles come in at 16 millimeters in thickness. These paddles have full foam cores. They all feature a carbon fiber face. I would classify the Quanta as an all-core paddle out of the box, and low to mid-tier power paddles after significant modification. The R2 swing weight came in around 102 with a twist weight of 6.2 and a static weight of 7.8 ounces. My R3 came in with a swing weight of 110, a twist weight of 5.5, and a static weight of 7.8 ounces. My R4 came in with a swing weight of 106, a twist weight of 5.8, and a static weight of 7.8 ounces. The retail price of the Quanta is $120, but after my discount code JJPB, this paddle does come down to just $100. The official release date of the Quanta is September 12th, but as of right now, you actually can pre-order this paddle over on their website. These paddles stock are just really nothing to write home about. They felt kind of stiff, did not have great stability, and the pop off the face just wasn't very exciting. But very similarly to the Franklin C45s, these paddles are drastically improved with the addition of perimeter weighting. Now, if you are one of the people that liked the C45 stock or prefer paddles with a low swing weight, then you certainly don't have to add any weight to this paddle. But in my opinion, these paddles are just very, very special given the price point and performance after a good amount of modification. I personally added around 5 grams of tungsten tape on 3 and 9 o'clock on my Quanta R3, which is the weight I wish I could have more easily experimented with on the Selkirk boomstick, but that MOI tuning system just made it really difficult with those things just being stuck on there so hard. But right away after this adjustment on my Quanta, the stability drastically improved. And also, I just wanted to note, adding this weight on my R3 did jump the swing weight to around 117. But with these modifications, I did notice a big increase to the power and pop of this paddle. But even with this increase, I would not go as far to say as this is a top-of-the-line power paddle. I actually think this paddle gives the illusion that you think you're hitting the ball harder than you actually are. Because with the weight adjustments, the sound of this paddle gets much louder when you make contact with the ball. And one thing I have been noticing more than usual is how much sound affects our perception of power. There are more paddles that I think this affects, but that'll be in a later video comparing all foam paddles. So be sure to stay tuned for that video. But with all that being said, I just wanted to highlight that this paddle likely won't replace your boomstick, but man, does it check a lot of the boxes, and it is less than 1/3 the price of that of the boomstick. I personally think that the Quanta with weight falls in the lower half of power paddles on the market, but I personally really like where it sits. It gives me way more control than I had with the boomstick, and it still has plenty of power to put balls away and have aggressive drives. Now, I did experiment with putting 7.5 grams on each side of the Quanta to match that of the boomstick, but I didn't like the feel of the additional weight as much, and the slight jump in power didn't seem to be worth it for my preference in this paddle. The Quanta is certainly a paddle that you should feel free to experiment a lot with, especially with the lower swing weight, which gives you a lot of room for customization for everyone. Lastly, with the weight added to this paddle, the feel definitely softened up, and it definitely seemed to pocket the ball better than when it was stock. This allowed for really good control and shape on my shots when I was playtesting. In summary, the Quanta is an easy recommendation for anyone who wants a foam paddle that has better durability with good power and on a budget. The Quanta, after modification, is by far Ronbus's best paddle, in my opinion, for the masses. And with a $100 price point after discount code, it's going to be a very easy recommendation for me to continue giving going forward. This paddle in my playtesting was much easier to control than that of the boomstick and the upcoming Bread and Butter Loco. And it doesn't hurt that it is also the cheapest option of the group. The only edge I think that those two paddles have over the Quanta is the maxed out power potential, as well as both the Loco and Boomstick play much better right out of the box. So if you are not one who likes to add weight and customize your paddle, I would steer you towards those other paddles mentioned. Overall though, the Loco is a great paddle and so is the Boomstick. But when comparing the Quanta to the Boomstick, it really makes you ask the question, is that extra 5 to 10% in high-end potential and performance really worth the extra $233 to you? Thank you all for watching my review on the Ronbus Quanta. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave those down in the comments. And with that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.